River State constituency. Very pleased you, Mr. Speaker, and my most respected colleagues. Mr. Speaker, this bill is seeking to repeal the Commissions of Inquiry laws, Cap 30 laws of River State, 1999, which has its origin in the Eastern Nigerian Commissions of Inquiry laws of 1963. The same law we are talking about has its own origin to 1940. Mr. Speaker, we are seeking to repeal this law and to reenact the River State Commissions of Inquiry law for the holding of commissions of inquiry and for other matters related thereto. Mr. Speaker, fellow colleagues, the bill in question is brought pursuant to the inherent powers of this Honorable House and is enshrined in sections 100, sections 5, subsection 2A, and section 128 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered and amended. Mr. Speaker, this particular bill in question has so many merits and advantages. Mr. Speaker, one of them is that we are moving out from absolute laws, aka laws borrowed from time ages, long time ago, to bring this particular bill into reality with the present occurrences and development in our state. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the length and breadth of this particular bill, it will help River State to grow as a state that has modern laws for good governance of our people. Mr. Speaker, let the debate, let my colleagues support this particular bill to its success. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you for your remarks on this bill that is proposed today. It is indeed one law that one can best describe as an obsolete law. Obsolete because it does not reflect modern day realities. This is a legislation that was there at a pre-independence period, but following our independence and events at the National Assembly of this country that has brought about changes in our constitution, we find out that this particular law definitely needs some form of touch, which is why those who sponsored this bill they've decided that we should go ahead and repeal the existing law so that we can have a brand new law for River State, one that reflects separation of powers, one that will pave way for an independent commission of inquiry that will do their job and come up with something that will be good for this state whenever they are given that task. We have in this bill 21 clauses as of today, including the citation. But one key thing about this bill, from what members have said, is that the powers donated to this House of Assembly in sections 128 and 129 of the 1999 Constitution, which is powers to inquire, to investigate, to call for witnesses and all that, is vested in this House of Assembly. We have those powers. But what this law seeks to do, what this bill seeks to do, is to repeal the existing law and allow for the Commission of Inquiry to exercise some of those powers in section 128 and 129 of the 1999 Constitution as altered. Meaning that when we are done with this bill and it becomes law, we would have had a profound touch given to this particular bill so that the commissions of inquiry, whenever they are set up, can work within the limits of the powers of the commission, as we are going to set out at the end of this process. The existing law doesn't seem to have boundaries as to what this commission of inquiry will do. But I think this particular bill is also making the boundaries or their terms of reference whenever they are set up very explicit. And the good thing is that there is a clause in this bill that calls on the governor to reach out to the assembly whenever the commission of inquiry makes their recommendations, and that the governor should not go ahead to on his own begin to implement all that any commission of inquiry may ask him to do. Distinguished colleagues, we are all mindful of the fact that the commission of inquiry can make far-reaching recommendations that will touch on previous approvals by this assembly. For instance, if the commission of inquiry recommends that state funds should be used to rebuild anywhere, or that state funds should be used to do certain things that are not provided for in the appropriation law, it requires the governor of the state to let us know before going ahead to implement all that that commission of inquiry has asked the governor to do. So, what this bill seeks to do is to ensure that the tripartite touch between the commission and the governor and as well as the assembly is ensured for the interest of the good people of Rivers State. But we have also ensured, from what I've read in this bill, what the sponsors are saying is that the commission of inquiry should concentrate on the areas that the law has said it should concentrate on. So the bill definitely will take care of the powers to issue commissions of inquiry, the particulars of the commission, of course, the forms of summons, form of warrants, the interpreters, use of evidence, and the procedures in respect of contempt generally, and procedure in respect of contempt not in the presence of commissioners. So it takes care of all those things that we find as issues in the current law. Members have also identified the fact that some of the penalties in the current law, the amount attached to those penalties are no longer in tandem with modern day reality, a situation where someone will have to pay, say, about 10,000 naira as costs to the commission in the event that the commission has to spend to compel the person to appear before her. So 10,000 naira that the wrote in the previous law, or in the existing law, as you may have it, is quite finitesimal. It's only proper that we review the figure. So what the sponsors of this bill did is actually to increase some of the fees so that they will reflect modern day reality. We know the value of our naira today. So something that used to be penalty as far back as 1963 or in 1999 certainly will no longer hold sway in today's Nigerian economy. So it's only proper that the assembly that has the authority by virtue of sections 128 and 129 should look into the existing law and come up with very meaningful changes that will reflect today's realities and strengthen commissions of inquiry whenever they are set up by the governor. So I think this will do this state a lot of good, and we believe that at the end of the day, it will also ensure that separation of powers between the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary is not tampered with the use of the commissions of inquiry. That's exactly what this bill seeks to do, and it's our prayer that it turns out well for our people if it is finally passed by this August Assembly. Honorable members, let me once more commend you for your contributions, and I believe we can make progress on this bill. So debate, motion for closure of debate, the ayes have it. This bill is hereby committed to the House Committee on Judiciary, and we expect the House Committee on Judiciary to present their reports within 1 week. We're asking them to publish this bill and the notice for the public hearing on the national daily. They must make sure that the public hearing is held, and we want their reports presented to this August Assembly in 1 week. Clerk, what do we have on the other paper? What next?
Following the incident in our state on 7 October 2024, where witness institutions, where thugs, miscreants, and malevolent minds invaded various local government secretariats in our state. The Speaker, in line with Order 24, you referred the petition to our committee. The Speaker, I know that the committee had promised that we shall expedite actions and make sure that our report is out in as short time as possible. Mr. Speaker, the voluminous nature of the report and the very, very tasking nature of the job has made it a bit difficult for us to conclude within the time frame that we promised. Mr. Speaker, what we saw was not what we expected. In fact, the number of witnesses and people we have had to interview has made the job very tasking. But Mr. Speaker, we thank God that as we speak, over 75% of the job, over 85% of the job is done. As we have almost exhausted the list of people we invited to interview. As I speak to you, we just have a few number of people to conclude our report. So Mr. Speaker, I want to plead with you, and of course with this honorable house, to give us a little more time so that we can do a proper job. Mr. Speaker, we also want to thank you for enabling us as a committee to hire consultants to work with us to be able to evaluate the nature of destruction of witness and also to put a value to them, because as a committee we felt that it won't be proper to just bring a report and not attach values. We want to know, people should know the value of destruction that was seen, especially in specific local government, so that assuming the House wants to advise on maybe reconstruction or the acquisition, we will know how to attach figures to them.
7th of October 2024 has just told us that they are not done with the reports. So is it the opinion of the House that we extend the time given to them to enable them conclude with their work? Is that the view of the House? Honorable members, anybody saying anything different? I think that's the view of the House. So it's the view of the House that we should extend the time. So honorable members, I think that it is best that we give the House Committee on Public Petitions more time to finish their job of fact-finding on the events of the 7th of October 2024. This House is empowered by Section 103, Section 128, and 129 of the 1999 Constitution to investigate. We have powers to summon individuals to find out what happened or what is happening in our dear states. And that is why this committee is doing their job. So we'll allow them some time and hope that their reports will be presented to this House so that we can make progress for our dear states. On that note, I think we're done with what we have. Clerk, any other matter on the other paper?